Yeah, just a quick review of the SHIFANQI full finger copper arthritis compression gloves. There's a lot of these gloves that you can find on the internet. There's so many to choose from. So I'm just going to bring up a couple points about these that I like best, just to give you something more information about it. Usually these gloves will come either, they'll have the whole glove where actually your fingers are covered up, and then there are gloves actually where the fingertips are actually cut out and there's no compression there. So with these particular gloves, obviously, it's got full finger compression. The problem with that a lot of times is that you can't do fine things like if you're going to like wear these gloves and do sewing and knitting, fine motor skills. A lot of times it's hard to do when you have this glove on. The other thing, a problem is that you can't really text. Use your touch screen on your phone, but they have eliminated that problem at least with these gloves because these two fingers you can actually will work on your phone. So that I think is a good feature. That's a pretty thoughtful thing to add in there. The other thing is they do have these non-slip stripes on here, give you a better grip when you pick up things. You might have a weak grip anyway, depending on what your medical condition is, and this will just, the rubber strips create a little more friction so you can hold on to things a lot tighter. So that was also a good thing too. They are breathable, which is actually a really big point because what good is a glove that hey, it does what it's supposed to do, it might be gives you the good support and everything, but hey, it's like it's hot. Especially in the summer months, you put these things on, you're going to kind of heat up, you're going to start to sweat. Then if you sweat, the glove is going to pick up the sweat, then it's going to stink, then you got to worry about all this washing. It's good to start out with a really highly breathable fabric just in the beginning. So that's another thing I like about these. Also, know that these are hand wash, so they don't really want you to throw them in, the washer and then the dryer. A lot of things, if they have a lot of elasticity content, high elastic fibers in the material, repeated washing and drying kind of wears those out. So that's why I think they recommend hand washing, I guess. Speaking of that, they are made of 85% copper nylon and 50% spandex. So here again, that spandex is what kind of can lose its elasticity with a lot of, especially when you stick them in the dryer. But anyway, overall, if you're looking for a pair of full finger gloves that you can actually use your phone with, I think this is a great choice. So definitely, if you're looking for some external compression, this is external compression, outside compression. There's also other things you can do for your fingers to support the joint, especially if you have arthritis. I'll just show you a couple things real quick. Treat your own hand and thumb osteoarthritis. Is where I'm getting this stuff from. Let's see. So this just starts out with some anatomy. Lots of pictures here, visual learner. It's real easy to pick up. Okay, so getting rid of stiffness. So here they show you how to make a homemade hot pack out of a tube sock and some rice, which I thought was clever. So obviously if you heat it up, stick in a heating pad, that's going to make you relax everything and increase the circulation, which does help your fingers move better. But the other thing you do, especially if you go to therapy, they're almost always going to have you do range of motion exercises. So the question is, why do they always do that? Well, your fingers and your wrists, those are synovial joints. That's the type of joint it is. And one of the characteristics of a synovial joint is that it has synovial fluid in it. Synovial fluid is what lubricates the joint and carries nutrition to the joint, okay? So if you have, arthritis and the cartilage is wearing down, you want to make sure you get good nutrition to the articular cartilage. So here's the thing. If you have stiff fingers and you can't move them through their full range of motion, this synovial fluid gets spread around to all the parts of the joint by motion. So motion is what helps spread that synovial fluid around. So you have a stiff finger, you're going to get parts of the joint that aren't going to get as much nutrition as it needs. So that's going to further compound your articular cartilage problem. So that's why they always do that. Let's see, so getting rid of stiffness with that. Plus you get that stuff sloshed around a little better in the joint. Your fingers are just move better. Making your hands stronger. You don't have to spend all day doing exercises to get your hands stronger. There's just a couple exercises, take a couple minutes a day. So for those of you who have a base of the thumb arthritis, or what they call carpometacarpal arthritis, this joint here, base of the thumb arthritis is really common, especially in females as they get older. They have hormonal changes that cause ligamentous laxity. And so the ligaments hold the bones to the bones. And if they get a little lax, and that means that you can get excessive motion in the joint. So it's this excessive motion that comes along with that starts to wear down the cartilage prematurely. And then in the end stages, You get so much extra motion in that thumb joint, especially when you're stressing it. You can shred the ligaments, and then the bone becomes subluxed or it gets out of place. And that's why you've seen people with their thumb, elderly people with their thumb hanging out like that. That bone is subluxed in that lower joint, just come out of place. It's all about stability. So there is a muscle you can strengthen called your abductor pollicis longus. See how that sucker attaches right there? Helps really support that joint. So just with one exercise, take you about a minute every other day, you can strengthen that muscle and get a lot more stability in that joint. So there are a lot of things you can do for hand and thumb arthritis if you know what to do. But honestly, one of the easiest things is putting on a compression glove. Most people say it feels good. That's because it surrounds the joints, supports it. And this is a good pair. So if you're interested in this, definitely check it out.